speaker, I feel honored to give a brief description about him. Dr. Latif Hussain Shah Kazmi is a professor and chairperson in the Department of Philosophy, Aligarh Muslim University. He has carried out his PhD project in Islamic philosophy and existentialism. His areas of specializations are Islamic philosophy, Iqbaliyat, existentialism, Sufism, ethics, aesthetics, and comparative study of religions. He has been teaching to the graduate and postgraduate levels for the last 32 years at AMU Aligarh. He has published more than 79 research articles and 14 books and participated in 117 national and international seminars and presented research papers and delivered lectures. Now, I request Sir to enlighten us with his teachings and experience. Over to you, sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. I request organizer to kindly unmute Latif, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, all of you, uh, honorable vice chancellors, professors, scholars of all streams, science, technology, humanities, and other disciplines. My dear students, ladies and gentlemen, and all the scholars from India and abroad. I welcome all and my good morning to all of you. Salam, Namaskar, and Jai Hind, and whatever you like. And it is for me to you all. So, the topic of today's discussion in the conference, Exploring Digital Humanities Challenges and Opportunities. I would like to mother subject, that is philosophy and its ethical implications in our digital life, as well as other aspects of life, be it religion, politics, social studies, and historical developments. So, my paper is a bit long, of 9 pages, but I shall try to summarize it, keeping in view the time and your own actually association with the scholars. I'm thankful to especially Professor J.P. Pandey and Sudhir Narayan Saab and Professor Satyadev Bardwaj and especially Dr. Sanjay Prasad Pandey, whose family is working towards the welfare of humanity as a whole. As a student of philosophy, I want to emphasize that how philosophy is useful, especially its most important branch, that is ethics, in our digital world, especially in Indian context. And this part of my presentation is divided into 3 sections. Number one, introduction, what is philosophy? And after that, ethics, its meaning and application. And the third important part is ethics and its application in life and research, which is very important, especially for academic purposes. So, discussing the role of philosophy, especially in this digital world, I can simply say that by philosophy we mean that we are questioning of love of wisdom and it generally talks about the purpose of life, our relationship with human beings, our relationship with universe, and finally our relationship with that entity, supreme reality that is called God. And we are using different terms for him, who is the supreme reality or supreme good. We may call him Ishwar, Allah, Rahim, Kareem, supreme beauty, whatever. So when we are talking about the branches of philosophy, we are having metaphysics, which talks about the search for truth and reality, for which God and the world and soul, we are discussing all these things. Then there is a epistemology, is second important branch, which tells us that the sources of knowledge, rationalism, empiricism, or intuitionism. Then the question of this logic, which is a science of thought, that our judgments are true or false. Then there are two important branches for which we are discussing now, that is aesthetic science of beauty and art, and we are trying to beautify ourselves, our environment, and all what is there in nature and what a person is creating. Then we are having ethics, which is very important, and generally it is considered that science of rightness and wrongness, good and evil, lawful and unlawful, and it is also called normative science. So when we are going to define what is the use of actually philosophy, and C.D. Broad has rightly pointed out, I quote, the object of philosophy is to take the results of various sciences to add to them the results of religious and ethical experiences of mankind, and then to reflect upon the whole. The hope is that by this means, we may be able to reach some general conclusions as to nature of the universe and as to our position and prospects in it. I'm talking that when we are talking about the values, philosophy being the mother of all sciences, it talks about the values. Value mean when we are human beings, we are having mind, and at the same time we are having body, and through mind we get inspiration from the supreme reality if we believe in it. Otherwise, we ourselves are the kingdom of our own world. And when we are talking about this, the purpose of life or the meaning or the higher values, we are having generally three higher values, great values. That is religious value, moral value, and aesthetic value. A religious value, we mean that it is our personal, and if we are questioning, and the philosophy is one of the important definition is that it is also critical study of theology also. You are interpreting religion, and if you are interpreting religion according to your own whims and wishes, then it goes against the spirit of religion. And philosophy tells us that we should not do like this. And then if we are talking about other branches like politics, philosophy tells us you must question. When a person is morally good, he is socially and politically good also. So wherever we are much concerned with ethics. And as a human being, the main distinction between a person, a human being, and non-human being is that of because of ethics. Then we are talking of these ethical theories. Many ethical theories are there. Then we are having different aspects of ethics, which especially we are using here in media ethics, in medical ethics, in war ethics, and then political ethics, environmental ethics, information ethics, then business ethics, then religious ethics. Generally, we are talking about what is religious. And finally, our goal today is that in digital world, when everything is available on net, and we are just copying and pasting, and what is our role as a research scholar, what we are going to impart, especially to those students who is future of our nation and future of the entire humanity around the globe. And research ethics is its dimension and application when we are talking. In education, we are concerned with the right of education, teacher-student relationship, education for general human welfare. We cover all approaches, achievements, and developments in all areas of life. In the educational research projects, plagiarism, copyright, data collection with honesty, and all related aspects have to be checked and referred to ethically. So, research agencies like the university Grant Commission, and other related institutions are focusing on research ethics. So scholars are much concerned about research ethics and emphasize that we, the researchers, the scholars, must apply ethics in each of our word, figure, statement, design, idea with honesty, loyalty, sincerity, and objectivity. Let us briefly examine the following few ethical principles applicable in the field of research. And especially, there are 15 points which I try to enlist. And these 15 points for in the during this science and technological world, these are very essential when we apply these things. Number one is honest intention. Whenever we are going to explore something to produce a creative work, and we must honestly report data, results, methods, and required procedures and publication status. We should not misrepresent data because that will prove dangerous for our research project and out research and project and our time. Money and energy all turn futile and useless in this process. The second important part is that critical objectivity. Whenever you are going to present something, you must invite criticism. And what is that criticality? And you must see the data interpretation, peer review matters, personal decisions, expert testimony, and other aspects essentially not required for research. They should be maintained critically, they should be checked critically, and then you can enter those entries in your thesis. Third important point is maintaining integrity. The research scholar must keep his promises and agreements and should act with sincerity, strive for consistency of thought and action, and maintain integrity in all critical circumstances. He or she should not copy anything, and without reporting, they should not enlist. Fourth important point is that active consciousness or carefulness. The researcher must strive to work hard, be active, and avoid carelessness in collecting data without errors and negligence. He should carefully and critically examine his work and the work of his peers or mentors. He must keep good records of research activity with complete references and citations. Fifth important point is welcoming healthy criticism. The researchers must share data, results, ideas, tools, resources, and other necessary information with other scholars and experts and expert guides. He should welcome healthy criticism and new ideas that will benefit his project. Sixth important point is that maintaining due respect and intellectual and creative property. The researcher should honor copyright, patent if applicable, then copyright and other forms of intellectual property with great concern and care. He should only use unpublished data, methods, or results with permission and proper verification. He must give credit to the credit and appreciation where these are due and should never plagiarize. Seventh important point is caring for confidentiality. This is very important and is the prime duty of a scholar, especially in digital world, to protect confidential communication such as paper or grant submitted for publication, secrets information or personal records, trade or military, for example, secrets and patents is if applicable wherever, and any other such research where confidentiality is a must. Such research in humanities and social sciences or legal institutions require much attention to confidentiality and bold ethical confidence. Now, the next one is new positive addition in publication. A scholar must see that he or she is not going just to copy and after that submitting their research project. They should see that they will not get any benefit if they are trying just to copy or they are trying to one time publication for their promotion. This will not help them at all. Ninth important element is just full monitoring and mentoring. A scholar should promote all welfare and allow them to make their own decisions on ethical basis. For scholars, research ethics can pave the way for honest academic dealing and for their transmission of good ideas and positive knowledge. 10th important point is maintaining cordial relationship with colleagues and scholars, which we find especially in the universities, different universities and different colleges. We are not finding this cordial relationship among colleagues themselves or among between a teacher and a student, between a supervisor and the scholars. Ethics help us generally to maintain due respect for the colleagues and treat them fairly in times of crisis and need. Our research must focus on the welfare of people at large and should be benefited for humanity in one way or the other. So the 11th important point is caring social responsibility. It is scholars' prime moral duty to strive to promote social good and prevent all malicious activities through his research. Public education and advocacy for the overall welfare of people of all the sections, it is the necessary, it is an important duty of the scholar. Our research projects must be for guiding human beings in their various related departments of life for progress, prosperity, and welfare programs. So 12th important point is equal treatment with non-discrimination. This is very important, especially in Indian scenario, that we are treating persons according to their religions, according to their regions. So we should not think on the basis of sex, race, religion, language, ethnicity, or other factors unrelated to their competence and integrity. So equal treatment without any discrimination is a must. It will make their undertaken project meaningful because the right of education is for all and not for one class or group. So 13 important point is that confidence with competence. This is actually we are lacking. I had been in different interviews where the candidate is having everything, but there is no confidence and competence in that. Research ethics provides guidelines to maintain and improve professional competence and expertise through life, education, and learning. Sorry. It will help take steps to promote competence and confidence in scholars' concerned area and as a whole. So he should be inculcate a sense of responsibility. If he is a good scholar, confidence certainly would be there. 14th important point is that maintaining concerned legality. As a normative science, ethics helps us to apply positive humanistic principles for the inhabitants of the soil. We must actually obey the relevant laws of the concerned land and essential institutional and governmental policies. We must take care of all this. Then finally, the last one is respecting humanity, which is very important for what purpose we are doing all this. And whether it is digital, whether it is science, whether it is technology, whether it is the philosophy tells us that as an excellent scholar's moral duty and due responsibility are to check and address that when conducting research on human subjects, minimizing harm and risk and maximizing benefit must be considered. Respecting human dignity, privacy, autonomy are some of the essential imperatives which a scholar must consider. Finally, which I wanted just to explore, finally, let us strive for what is right. In digital world, what is good and beneficial for all and do justice to our research projects so that our research thesis enables us to bring peace, love, justice, and welfare in every department of life. It removes darkness from in and out of human beings through the great instrument of light called education with morality. Only ethical based research can make us great savior and survivors of humanity and bring God's blessings if we honestly believe in Him. Such an ethical based research project satisfies the researchers themselves and makes them academically strong and inwardly confident and creative. The digital application to humanities help us to join people of different disciplines, different faiths to work together to serve humanity and explore the significance of philosophy and its prime branch, ethics. So these are the few important points which I try to highlight. My question, especially in digital world, is this: we are advanced in science and technology in everywhere, and at the same time we are lagging behind. The question is that for what purpose science is there, for what purpose technology is there, if we see that scientific developments, we see the condition of Ukraine and Russia, we see the other technological world where we forgot our values, where we negate that God is having some relation with human beings, where we think that we are technologically advanced, but as a human being, we are lagging far behind and we are not actually a human being. And one important Western thinker, he said that man has learned to fly in the air like a bird, to swim into water like a fish, but he has not yet learned how to live on the land like a human being. So our technological advancements, our digital actually progress, everything, when we negate values, these all turn into zero. So our question to political leaders, our question to religious leaders, our question to our teachers, our question to our all other reformers is that when a person is corrupt, he is negating values. He can't be a good person. He can't be a good doctor, good teacher, good engineer, good patriot, or good administrator as well. So my submission to all the concerned person especially is that when we negate the importance of philosophy, its important branches, especially ethics, we may be called human beings, but actually we are not. So this is philosophy is imposing questions, and I am happy that in Saudi Arabia still people are striving. Just the first important philosopher was Kindi from Saudi Arabia, but unfortunately it had been actually not permitted in that very land. Now some conferences under the new regime are going on around the world, and we must see that in every department, in every university, a department of philosophy must be there, because without philosophy, no literature can work. Whatever your poetry, your prose, everything, when you are not having good ideas, when you are not having tested ideas, these technological advancement cannot work if you are not producing good ideas for human beings. And I mean that philosophy is not just a metaphysical thing. It is a practical aspect. When you are practically there in the world, you can contribute something. If you are contributing something to human beings, then you can say that you are a person, you have a proper role, and that role you have played as a human being, as a teacher, as a scientist, as a doctor, as an engineer. And so if we are corrupt, and we have seen that digital world, especially, I'm thankful to, and we all must thank to the West who has created this instrument, and especially in the East, we are sleeping and we are creating big religious buildings and other things, and we are not creating such great instruments which help humanity as a whole. Thank you very much, and there is no time for question. So in this, especially in this session, I'm thankful to actually Dr. Pandey, my great friend and instrumental especially, who has organized this great conference. And I'm thankful to Pune family and this, other countries family. I'm talking of family. I'm not talking of different departments. because all the principals, especially vice chancellors and these great teachers and male and females, they helped to organize this great organization, this great seminar. I'm thankful to all. We shall talk and we shall continue benefiting actually people this positive side of this digital advancement. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
What a wonderful session it was. It was really very interesting to hear about your experience teachings in the university there. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your time and experiences with